1 second, we have an error. Hello everyone. Currently I'm having an input device error, because thanks Python. I'll get it fixed if I can. As for it automating you, I have no idea why. I didn't get a message about it happening. As for my current error, this is because I have a new input device plugin, and it's defaulting weird. Hanya. You raided into troubleshooting moves. How are you tonight? I'm going to try something, but it may temporarily break vocalizer. As for how I'm doing good enough. Happy to be on my weekend at last. Okay is better than bad, yes. I do apologize for the delay. I've got something lined up that is hopefully neat tonight. Night hack, rest your ocular orbs. Testing and testing. I think we're back. There we go. Default device is always such a pain with this. Alright, see you roof. Alright, and let me go and change over. This is going to be a very sudden change in music. And it's frozen. Sure, that will happen, I'm assuming. Okay, it's frozen. Let me just reset that. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. So I've hooked up my interactions to an originals again. You can see the top screen. But I'm only working with the bottom screen because we are doing Game Boy Advance today. I'll try and see if I can balance the audio. It's a little harder when you're capturing from a hardware device. How does this sound? And I know Shimmy has been waiting for this one for a while. And yes, it's a game, a pack, not a cartridge. They were like that back then of its sourced from. Trying to differentiate themselves from a gaming console due to the gaming crash. Cause that was a thing that happened. How is this? It's hard for me to know because all I can do is look at meters. I do not hear it the same way you do. And also this is affected by the actual volume control units itself. As I can go into this. Hardware controls. So this is taking place at a very earliest stage of YGO. Very close to an era which people consider to be the golden age. Now I have played this game a lot over the years. And some of these decks are a lot better to start with than the others. All of them are playable, but one is I have a particular interest in tonight. Something you get with card games like this is very strict meta games, as well as lots of cards that just aren't good. So this right here is one of my favorite cards. She is not good. We are going to build around her and her counterpart no matter what. There is a weird sort of ineffectual boss monster that they can turn into. And I'm going to try and make it work. And they're one of my favorites just because they're cute, yay. Sometimes there's just a card you like the aesthetics of. That, and here is the boss monster that this provides. At least for this starting structure deck that we have. This is the worst boss monster out of them all. Out of the number of structured decks you can pick at the beginning, this one is just bad. It's a neat idea, but it does not work. It is not a good payoff. So that one's actually leaving the deck. We have other silly cards to include. So this deck is built around spell counters, a rather unused mechanic. I'm probably not going in on diffusion wave motion. Magical Blast is not really that good. Mystic Box is something, but this game also starts you with a basic starter deck that has a lot of better stuff in it. So as someone who has played this game for a pretty long time, I know what stuff is probably more optimal to include. Sure. We'll do 3 Magicians of Faith. I'm going to toss a few things in here, just to see. And yes, that's pre-reta shimmy. This is 2006. There's in fact because this game was meant for global use. It includes some cards that were only available in Japan, and would not be available in English for years. So this game has some weird things you can do in it. Also, this is one of my favorite cards. There's some neat tiny support that doesn't really work out that much, but it has some cool ideas. I did actually run a Dark Blade deck when I was younger. It was not good. Young Alice was a little bit edgy, so. I can probably do without spell absorption. Have got better than that. Magical Blast is an interesting idea. I don't know if it's going to come up enough. But we might as well keep some of the burn cards in here. That will work for now, I suppose. So we also start with a little bit of money. In this game kind of lets you do a little bit of a progression thing. As you beat more opponents you unlock more of the packs, and these are the real packs that were available. When I do want to do is search up which pack has Princess Karen in it, because I'm going to try and get that. If anyone has any questions about this, they're very welcome to ask, although I will admit this is a complicated game. Shadow of Infinity apparently. I don't think we have that. Well, let me go look up another card. When in doubt, we can just go to Invasion of Chaos. Chaos is still broken, even when they try to nerf it. That's probably I'll have to do. Duck is kind of a reason why I don't intend to play as much of this. Barrier to entry and understanding what's going on with this is probably a little high. So yeah, apparently, that is going to be a much later pack. I have no clue. Why can I enter the code? Am I allowed to do this? So something they did do is that if you owned a card in the real world, there is an identification number on it. Ouch, that's a lot of money. Did the screen freeze? That's unfortunate. I can fix it kind of quickly if it happens. It's an old capture card, it's slightly prone to disconnecting. But this is the password screen I was talking about. Just to see, let me see what the really important card costs. Because I will tell you, it is not actually worth whatever they assign the price to it. Ouch, that is brutal. But what we're looking to do eventually. His Trial of the Princesses is an equipped card. He flipped on current, or para. If you put it on current or peak or Roi, it will let you get their upgraded versions, if they can beat one monster. Upgraded versions are not worth this, as I've mentioned before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to search for one or two interesting cards that I know of, and see if we can get them. I'm going to try to not spend too long doing this. Alright, there's one is in Magician's Force, and the other one is in Pharaoh's Servant. So I'm going to go for a certain card. We'll see if we get it. Give me all of them. Or as many as I can buy. We'll make money after this. And there it is, it's what I was looking for. Armor IXI is not good, but I've always wanted to play it. And it works with our deck, so that's what we're going to do. You are one of Konami's naked airplane men. This is a deck you can build. This one's a funny card. On top of being cute, I suppose. Another Royal Magical Library is kind of nice. Dark core is very good. Anti smells a bit much. Magical Merchant's quite nice though. I hear is one of the cards for dark play. As part of the highly maligned union type. It gives him 400 attack and piercing. That was Magical Scientist's legal. I mean, I'll play, it's probably banned, I think. Yeah, no, I don't want to play that. Here is the counterpart, Naked Airplane Men. Only reason why it's playable is that it gives 3000 attack. There's 2 more of these, but they weren't printed yet, I don't think. So we'd probably need to be playing some sort of big tribute or fairy deck to make that one work. It's a little tricky. Or just revive it from the graveyard. Union monster stuff, this is truly the Genghis pack. Yeah, I really don't need Dark Magician that badly. Yeah, Duck, this game is basically Rules Warrior, the game. I will take another skilled Dark Magician, absolutely. Oh right, wearing armor. That's a funny card if you have it for the right deck. You say that shiny but insane. We presume Doc knows anything about magic. Unfortunately, magical scientist is banned. We wouldn't have anything to do with it anyways. Didn't mean to add that. Oh well. You probably want this. Alright, probably trim some stuff. I think magical blast can probably go. That's an okay card. It's probably not worth it at the moment though. I want to get down to about 44. While we have 3 royal magical libraries. My breaker might be limited. Yes, he is. Oops. This is basically past what's known as GOAT at the start of Cyber Dragon. I think this is technically known as Reaper format. I can play with this. Alright, here we go. Are we lucky? No. I do like this game's music. And given we're going first, we're kind of stuck with Dark Magician in hand, which is a little annoying. What we can do is, I'll go for a very defensive play. Alright, yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and solve this problem now. Okay, so I could go into Chaos Command. It's probably not worth doing it though. Beat stick time. Summon monster, go bomb. Alright. So something you'll discover with this game is that even the basic level enemies are not slouches. I can see if they want to crash. It's probably better than using my field presence. Okay, no response to that. Okay, sure. Their eye is pretty decent, but it's not the best. So I'm kind of just sitting here, unless I go in the chaos command, which I think I might just do. Which you'll see with the very older form of YGO is a lot of slow back and forth. Go my boss monster. Attack, current, go. Oh, traps are extremely useful in this era. Traps are so important that you can actually play Jar of Greed as a fake out. I mean, we've kind of got them on the back foot pretty hard, so. That is shimmy. That is true, I mean. Specific application here is that traps are so dangerous. That people might spend cards to try and remove them. And if they do that to a down Jar of Greed, you can just draw one card instead, and they've also wasted a removal spell. So we have to beat these guys like 5 times to unlock the next section of enemies. I think I estimated around 260 something duels required. That's a great pull-off, huh? So this right here is one of those unusual cards. People will know this as a Temple of the Kings, I believe. 260 duels to effectively see the final boss. Zara was originally first released all the way in 2001. We didn't get it until 9 years later. So first off, oh, that's a back row 5, ever seen one? Yeah, that's some cards right there. So we can't get over their monsters, so I'm just going to set this and get her a heavy storm back. Well, they don't want to attack. Yet magical dimensions will be very useful here. So now to do is I'll flip summon. Alright, skill drain. That ruins my plan. Let me see if I can just do this now. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter what I do with it. Actually no, I can still get rid of skill drain. Face down you go. Well, that's that clear, only one misplay. A scapegoat runs a skill drain deck. And all the double-edged monsters stuck like chainsaw insect. And you are welcome to yap. I welcome it. I don't know why you would hold them back. I know Chad is moving at a mile a minute here, but you're welcome to talk about what you need. I mean, that's perfectly fair, Doc. I think a lot of people would say it's for the best. Shinny, do you see anyone else talking? Feel free to yap, I don't mind. I'm here for the vibes of just yap, and we're playing games on the couch. I mean, when I get to something like I don't know, knowing depth, or a blue reflection. Where there is an interesting story to talk about, I like the conversation to be about the game a little bit more, but random yaps are going to happen. So we are unfortunately stuck in an awkward spot here. I don't have any spell counters. Go ahead and hit yourself, idle mind. A year ago level limit area, you are talking about toxic. I mean, I say that, and I play Raging Flame Sprite, so. Okay, I'm going to admit they kind of got her number here. I really needed that trap card. This is really a scent from the field, the graveyard now. You're joking me. So... Princess Curran. Magician Curran will probably be your only way out of this. And yet there is a lot of ways to build toxic in this game. It's a bit of a problem. In the modern game is in such a state that a toxic building is basically encouraged in a weird way. So yeah, we're in a bit of a stall game here. To explain the situation for those who don't know. Here is level limit area. Level 4 monsters and higher is going to be what generally most decks use, and this basically says you just can't attack with them ever. Gala can just keep this removal in my hand, there's not really much of a reason to place it down. And I find it funny that you bring that up, Shinny, given that we're fighting the person who uses King of the Skull Servants as their deck. I mean, there's a number of decks that play low-level monsters. In the modern day at least. And given that there's all sorts of monsters that ignore levels, that this isn't so much for terror anymore. Meanwhile, we're getting Pac-Man. They are summoning the physically advanced panel. Also, hey Wheatley. So I'm in a position right now where by not doing anything they've blocked up their board. Their win condition is King of the Skull Servants, and they have no room to summon it. Yeah, it's nothing for me to do, here I'm just drawing lots of removal. At this point they might deck themselves out. Which is them running 2-0 cards in their deck. Oh. Plan was to stall for deck out. But Magician of Faith is about to go crazy. Let's go major power. Well, I tried. Oh well. Oh, I love lots of older games weekly. I meant to play a lot more retro stuff. He have those face down this whole time. Why? Are you kidding me? Do you see this? Yeah? Really activated another one. That's what we're doing here today. Okay, so Calm Pulse, Call of the Haunted. We have Bound Currents matchup. Yeah, I have no idea what the spot's doing. Now I don't want to kill one of these, I don't think. Cause that will just make the other one more powerful, so I want to. I could stop them from drawing. I could hit him for a damage and Spirit Reaper. They might just have a battle trap though, so it might just be worth burning them to death. Well, if they do, I'll have revives. I don't think they have any good means by which to get kings off their field, so I think we're fine. Highest defense. You really want to get rid of my skilled dark magician that bad. Sure, I guess. It's going to stand here and let him get burned to death. Current is actually doing their job. Amazing. This is the one edge case in which this card is actually very good. This sure has been a duel. Incredibly interactive gameplay. Turn 30 by the way. Alright, here we go, chat, or girls about to get the victory. We got so little for that. Thanks for wasting our time, Skull Servant. "30 turns is extremely long, duck. If I remember correctly, this guy plays a counter fairy deck. We'll see if this gets us hit with a heavy storm. It got us hit with a heavy storm. Highly unfortunate. Yeah, the deck isn't normally stall shimmy. It normally places the level limits just to keep the opponent from getting in to gain any advantage. And then just builds up to a 3000 attack Skull Servant, King, and Rosen. I'm just going to keep removing their back row, as much as I want to get cross-eyed. Yeah, that's some nasty stuff. That was going to happen eventually. That was a waste of a Sarah Priest's abilities. I mean, bots aren't always the smartest in this game. Before this is turning out to be a very weird one. I guess Apprentice Magician's target is just going to be Magician of Faith, work at Peak or Rue. Alright, that's not what I expected them to set down. Yeah, you can bet the first 5 decks in the game are just kinda disgusting. Some of them are. Thanks, I guess. A third heavy storm. What a time to be alive. Cool, thanks. One more spell and I get Dark Magician. Our opponents are real sicko. Marshmallow Reflect Bounder. I can wipe their field, but I kind of want to keep Heavy Storm. It would give me Dark Magician Nose. I could push this to slightly faster ending. I'm going to stall one more turn. Alright, and have stalled. Mistakes were made. What are these draws? Well, this keeps us from losing the game. But is not going to stick around long. Yeah, Shimmy has been really at it on trying to get that channel going. Oh, this is such a top deck. When in doubt, the disgusting power of chaos comes to assist. And if you wonder why I say that one of the chaos monsters printed at this time can still be played today, they are exorbitantly overpowered. Alright, don't wanna pump myself. No need to banish myself, just going to keep going. Alright. Thanks, I guess. A tiny interaction. What was that click? Collapsing something. Beckoning lights. I don't think I remember this card. Oh, you're trying to find a monster. If you're Shining Angel, were you? Chaos Sorcerer is incredibly strong. Out of the 3 Chaos Monsters available at this point in time, it was the only one to not get banned. See, I would try doing like a best of list, or at best this month or something. Alright, I'm going to make a play that seems a little bit odd. But I don't want it to be another Shining Angel. It was just Silent Swordsman level 3. Also, we get extra points for an exact finish. Not very much. And now it's the great rival battle. Alright, we don't have too many spell counter options at the moment, so it's going to be skilled Dorkadin. And he's gone. Short-lived skilled Dork. Cool, thanks. I'll just take the hit. These drawers are not good. I guess where this one's looking bad, folks. I would attempt to make a best of list, though I don't have the passion for video editing. Thing when you have a thing like me. Is that stuff that does not interest you, really does not interest you? We need to draw a Royal Magical Library badly. That will work. Hey Gail. Well, won't even let me surrender. Listen, I know what I beaches let me give up. Yeah, this one was unfortunate. Sometimes you just get a bad hand. Ah, this is an okay hand. To sat in paths. We're probably looking for Magician of Fate. So whatever reactivate, I can get back. I'll just do this. Please go through Chaos Command Magician. Oh. That sure is a card to be playing. I could probably get rid of that card, it's not that good. And rapid fire too, really. Breaker would not get their counter, so they're a little bit rough. It's a question between Skilled and Royal Magical Library. Well, this one's going better. Yeah, I was wondering why you were mentioning little. A Gemini elf is like the premier, a normal monster this time period. This is kind of a cool card formation. He reminds me of how historical solitaire was about, like the aesthetics of the card wave. And you've got the big magician surrounded by the two magicians and the spell behind them. Well, spell and trap card. No reason to get fancy with it. I put that one of defense just in case this is mirror force, but it's not. Oh, so we only had to beat them once. Really, I thought I remembered more. Oh, let's go look at how many points we've got. We've gotten some. Let me go edit the deck slightly. These two just are not that good. "42 should be off. But I'm going to put one more librarian. Not because there is any chance of us accomplishing, like big drawers or anything. But just because I need another defender. In that we get new music. About the best I can do is probably this play because nothing elderly someone's going to survive. Alright, we're already seeing Cyber Dragon, that's great. She's actually going to sharpen knives, Liv. She does commit to the bit, I give her that. Alright, we can finally do something here. What in the world was that? You monsters, okay, buddy. We're going to go for Pete. As the upper game is going to be very important for us. Thing about major power is you can just set stuff down and gain more attack power if you need it. Oh. Well, we hit the wrong one, that's for sure. Outlet, I guess. We have been outplayed. Yep, goodbye, Jeff. It starts to get harder very fast. I hope you get soon up better soon, Gale. A vocal stumble. Do you know what I was trying to say? Look, it's Pot of Greed, the most complicated card in the game. Armor is not doing very much because I'm not ending up with any spell counters once this guy is in my hand. I needed this so I could float. Magician of Fae. Stumble was from the digital girl. I do actually have a stumbling problem. By Dark Magician. Give me that back. Please don't be another battle trap. Berserker Soul at Mites. Trying to remember which one you're talking about. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I know, that's way later. It seems like a car that'd be around at this time, though. Okay, thanks I guess. Here, just get rid of that, go away. Yeah, I looked it up, I actually have the wiki up at the moment. It's a neat little jank card. How about go away? Next turn we can finally summon armor. And that would be it for game, I suppose. So pitch black power stone is kind of what makes the spell counter decks work. At least back at this point in history. Which is very slow, which is why his spell counters weren't really that big yet. If you want to, you can look it up on the wiki, all of what cards are in this. As it has a kind of weird card list is due to the multi-regional thing that I mentioned. Is that really every Stanby phase? That's crazy. How many times has it been that they've had magical space typhoon in reaction from major power? And here we feel they do have very different melting points. This affects the foundry process. This is just to a style on them. Yeah, I knew they would have had something here. It's still not enough to save them though. Yeah, I think we have to start beating the other ones many times next. There is also a dual mode of a dual survival, and a dual puzzle mode. You can always play when you're tired of doing standard duels. Yeah, I'm not going to do much more than this. An interesting topic to look up briefly is the history of how they were able to produce steel historically. In fact, if you like, you could actually take up the fascinating task of trying to create wrought iron. As wrought iron isn't really made anymore. Although at that point we have to find some supplier for raw iron, so that's kind of a big project. Did I really just get beat by reinforcements? This card. Okay, sure, I guess. Let me get rid of that before it gets a tribute off of it. But yes, to a degree, wrought iron is a very low carbon iron. It's very close to pure iron. It gets its name due to the fact that you work it with a hammer while it's cooling. Wrought being worked, therefore it's worked iron. I have no faith that this is going to go through. I am 100% expecting a trap here. Amazingly, no. Well, weakly part of it is also involving the chemical composition and the head of the alloy itself. Not just the hammered part of it. One aspect of wrought iron is that it actually has sort of glass fibers running through it as a result of the slag. I believe, if I remember my metal correctly. Another interesting thing to look up is the nature of Old methods of creating steel, as what they would do is heavily carburizing the iron. By burning charcoal around it effectively. Something that's just going to result from the process of smelting it to begin. But what will happen is it'll have far too much carbon, and be far too fragile. So then they run it through a process of reducing the carbon from it by effectively heating it up, and then milling it. Okay, watch this chat. I'm going to steal back my own monster. And then kill them. That was cool. Trust me, that was cool. Even if I can't seem to be able to pronounce cool. Oh, let's go see. Limited dual theme dual. Yeah, there's some of these really weird ones in here. Thank you, let's try survival. This is an incredibly hardcore image. Yet all very funny in its own way. Oh boy. I think this is like a rank 5 opponent. We stand no chance, I don't think. But there's also cool music in this one. I probably should have done skilled magician. I'll write your cross out in my library. Sure, I guess. All of that to just tease at yourself. crazy. Regret setting that, but we'll see. Yup, banish her sounds about right. As for the aluminum, I feel like I vaguely remember something about that, but I can't confirm either way. I wouldn't want to spread misinformation. Well, discards normally known as the warrior. But we've got different translated names in this game. So far this has been a very riveting duel. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have the magic dimension this guy. It's not a great use of a magician of faith, but we'll get over it. That 300 damage isn't going to matter, so I'm just not going to go in. Alright, blue lady. She is a very good card. Game comedian said, what we're doing. Oh, banishment decks. How toxic. If I had another monster, this brain control would go really crazy right now. But I don't, so I'm just going to have to sit and wait. Dimensions draw. Good job, I guess. So they special summon something face down. I kind of need to keep brain control to try and get Dark Magician out, so I'm just gonna cross out that thing. Because this was just normally attributed. Forgot that you could just do that. Very riveting turn 14. Significant damage has finally been done. We've got some real grind games going on tonight. Oh, that's nasty. Yeah, that hurts eyes. Colorado Haunted would help if we had any monsters in the grave. So I'm just going to have to do this. Yeah, just banish them both. If I could get Dark Magician out of my hand, we'd be in a better position. Grabs you is not a good sign. Thank goodness. Discard Dark Magician, blow that guy up. Finally. Game ends in 2 turns. Forget I said anything. Or back to the grind game. It's top deck war. Alright, we're back in this. Rebecca and this girls. I don't know what vocalization is doing tonight, it's coming up with some very weird things. And there's a modulus, oh boy. Chat. It is over in 2 turns. Magic Cylinder, my beloved. Now we have very little life points remaining, so we're probably not accomplishing anything here. That really wasn't worth our time, it seems. But we did style on them, and that's what matters. See, to me, when you play these old versions, sometimes it gets to those long grind games. But we've had a number of really cool things happen tonight. Oh, that was a great hit right there. And Spirit Reaper should have crossed out at that. If there is anyone to play Reaper, it's going to be the zombie player. Oh right, well. They've got area, living map. I'm just gonna typhoon that. And I'm just going to go ahead and cross out the face down. All that hurts them a lot. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. YGO, it's just kind of a niche audience game. Like I could try to stat or realize what I'm doing here. Two tutorial lies. You know what I'm trying to say. And all I tend to prefer games that are more accessible to an entire audience. I could have summoned the Chaos Sorcerer this turn, but I'm just going to save him. I'm expecting a lightning vortex or something. I might go in on it now though. Evidently he has nothing going on. YGO really only makes sense to someone who is also a YGO nerd. That was slightly a problem I also had with Fire Emblem. Though I think on paper Fire Emblem is a little easier to understand. If you ever get into it, Dale, I would play the old formats of the game. They call it Goat and Edison. Those are two of the times the game was at a pretty decent balance. I would not get into the modern game chess, do not. Edison is synchro. So it's before 2014, I'd say roughly. Or somewhere around that time period. Also, how you said Lord. Goodbye, tomato. You have joined us for yet another grind game. Oh, okay, this is what I have to do. This needs to get destroyed by battle, yeah. That's going to be hard to achieve. But if I can make that happen, I can get rid of level limit. What is the dinosaur show? Okay, I'm just draw the magician of fate. I need, I guess. Activating lightning vortex. Really? Well, they do. As I am taking my chaos sorcerer back, thank you. What is the dinosaur show though? I don't know what the dinosaur show is. I don't have the context. Mystical Space Typhoon. Goodbye, you and your floodgate. Okay, I see. It could be a fun watch. Me being a boring adult now, I tend to watch documentary type stuff. I might reload. Yeah, that's alright. I think I'll take those. First off, big damage. And we've got him on the ropes. I mean, Mystical Space Typhoon was a staple card for a very long time. Ability to just pop one thing, no downsides. I didn't mean to attack that, but whatever. What were they throwing out like the big scientific name Sabor? I am gay. Going to attempt to go in for game. Previous statement is correct, although it is not what I said. Thank you for the ribbon. It seems like part of my code, that was supposed to be functioning, has broken. I'll have to diagnose it later. I can just reset it real quick. Testing and testing. Yeah, it seems like there's something going on. It's not affecting the recognition, but it would be breaking a future afraid. Seems like it's doing okay now. Little bit awkward. So let's go get our boss monster. That we have been waiting on. So looking at this number, here she is. This is exactly what it is, Cyborg. This is just the game from all the way back in 2006. Trap cards still matter. Extra deck, isn't this ever repressive force? battles will just last longer. Negates aren't everywhere. So heroes are not very good at all, boss monster. And they're equally not nearly as good an equipped card that gets them. "45 cards is a little bit too much. We can probably drop this guy even if he does look cool. Yeah, the thing about pendulums. When it was the pendulum era, when they released it, they were incredibly overpowered. Because it's now not the new shiny thing, it has been nerfed. Because Link monsters are even more busted and broken. It should go to say something that there are last Link monsters in the game. They have only been out for a few years. And by far they have the most banned cards. And pendulums aren't really complicated at base, they're just really bad at explaining how they work. This is a brick of a hand. Oh yeah, there goes the skill drain. That's not good. Yeah, and the reason why the generic support Link cards got axed is because they allowed stronger decks to do absolutely broken things. Modern Mo has an issue with punching down. Modern YGO. A hand trap monsters that are supposed to help the non-native decks just help the native decks bully the little deck. Yeah, so we lost this game. There's nothing we could do about it, our hand was just terrible. Going out on my own terms though. Wow. I mean, we drew or unusable equip card for our boss monsters. And I got countered by our opponent, and couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, I should know better than to summon anything in attack position against the sky. YGO is a game that is a game in which you have a deck of cards. And if it is a game with deck of cards, then randomness will be a factor. Unless we're talking about modern YGO, in which a single card will get you to a full board of monsters. And I mean to be clear, there's nothing wrong if you've enjoyed the modern YGO. People are allowed to like different things. It's just some people like me are slightly cranky that the game looks nothing like it used to remotely. Gameplay that a lot of the people played it for back in this time period is not there anymore. It's a much different game. It's the end result of something going on far too long. It's now about comparing the power of archetypes against each other, and winning the game in the first 2 turns. And some people really like that dynamic. It's not my thing though. if I did not have steel cage, that was going to be a really bad turn for me. Boss monster, unfortunately we drew her. She was referred to as a garnet, in the modern age, a card you do not want to have in your hand. Although that would imply that her existence is useful for a combo, she's just a brick. Yeah, so the thing that happens with all the stun options that exist today. It is overreaction, or at least an incorrect bandage to the power creep that exists. A power creep that has long existed in forward to out of control. And so it really just results in two groups of people in which the game is under fun for both of them most of the time. I mean, you can absolutely lock a player out of the game in this era of YGO. Case in point, some of the duels that we've had. Oh right, see it duck. What a great copycat target. Unfortunately, they have a slight answer to argue. This partially answers their board. Although it's not doing much about the silent swordsman. I see buns, I post buns. Yeah, so what does this guy do when he adds me? Yeah, they're going to get level 7 out, which is not good. Yup, this is bad. Our win rate kind of gone down, ever since including Princess Curran, which is to be expected because it's bad. Yeah, this ain't looking great. I really need to draw something good. That doesn't do it, game. Yeah, that was us. I think if we need points, we're just going to have farm it off Curry Bow. This hand is terrible. At least for doing things. It has options, I guess. Dreaded 50. Whenever you're tracking this in paper, and you have to add the 50. Well, that's not good. Good thing I have Sakura Sue. Hey, we get to draw a free card. Our deck is just slow rolling so hard. Oh, there we go. It's time chat. It was not time chat. You might be able to see why this monster is not that good. You can hit my Magician of Faith. I don't really mind. I'll just pull Fisher again. Stop that thing before it gets out of control. And we wait because this is such a slow thing. Kern can be good if you're as like a finisher card for a stun lockout. I purely did that just to get the draw. I mean, as we saw earlier today against the Troll Servant, she did very well. I guess reforming spell counters. Look at this budget Pac-Man deck. Oh. Gas cool. Dow. Okay, that was furious, strangely pronounced. It'd be nice if we had more of a payoff for magical dimensions. So I'm just going to repeat this turn. That way, I can get to another draw. At this point, we probably just summon Magician of Fate, or set it at least. Well, that is a card. I suppose this is a pair. It's not as big as I would have liked, but we'll take it. Negate attack, sure. I mean, there's a lot of options here, but I think Typhoon's the choice. Thank you for the life points. Give me my monster back. I have no idea what joke that would be. But we can finally do it. She returns. alongside something that is probably slightly better boss monster, but also kind of similarly a brick. Go my magicians. I believe she has to destroy a monster. Yes. Yet she has destroyed a level 5 or higher monster. That's hard to do with 2000 attack. But we rep our girl, we are going to keep going with this. Yeah, that's where I take 300. Okay, so now we need to draw cards, cause swords, revealing lights being a pain. Yeah, there's not much to do here. We will give them 300. Why did they not attack? Are they right they can't beat anything? How silly. You can attack me back, I guess. Very slow games today. So I need myself a bot to ban. There we go, that's the excitement I needed. I'm just going to summon Armory, but just to let it destroy itself. Well, cool, Dark Magician. Oh right, I have a very convoluted plan. This is entirely unnecessary. But I'm going to do it. I just want my boss monster. I am quite literally fully moaning here. Fully mowed. Just so I can summon this. It was incredibly worth it, Jack. It took us 6 hours, not 6 hours, 3 hours. But we summoned our boss monster, and she got a win. She did the thing. This card is so bad. Oh well, young me would be happy. Mission accomplished. Pay no attention to the fact that we had to go incredibly out of our way at the end to accomplish this. Well, it's been 3 hours. I would jokingly play some more Momo Crash. But I need to sleep. I have not slept great pretty much this entire week, and this was a work day, so any day that I have gone to my job is not a day I want to stay up longer. Unless the stream is really just that fun, I suppose. Settle for stopping by. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm sure I have other stuff on the Game Boy Advance to play in the future. We'll see what that ends up being, cause I had quite a big library of old things. But thank you all for coming by, as well as putting up with me playing old and slow card game that you don't understand. As I mentioned earlier, I would prefer to play things that's more generally accessible. But occasionally I've just got something I want to get off my mind. And I promised Shinny that I would play that a pretty long time ago, so consider that promise fulfilled. I've got some tech stuff to go look over. As evidently some of the stuff isn't working as well as they would have wanted it to. It seems like it's doing okay, though. It may have just been a temporary bug that required a reset. And let's see who we can raid. Ere we go, here is some Sonic adventure for you. By the one and only Monaco 3 Cat. I will catch you all tomorrow night. Sleep well.